His latest project is called 8 Years Old and Smuggling Drugs. It goes out on 5-star tomorrow. I guess it does what it says on the tin.
Yeah. You know, I always say that I wish that I couldn't make a documentary like this. I wish that it didn't have to be made, but it is something that's happening. And I look into how it's happening, what are the factors that are making this happen, how are kids so young being involved in this.
We're going to talk about age of criminal responsibility a bit later, but the received wisdom tends to be that the older gangsters realise that if you get a child under the age of criminal responsibility to carry the drugs or carry the gun, nothing will happen to them and nothing will happen to you.
Yeah, that is the thinking, and I think it's something that's evolved. There's always been the usage of somebody who would seem as a person that wouldn't really be noticeable doing these kind of things, but this actually was quite educating for me because I found out a lot that I didn't realise that's happening behind the actual process of making.
Like what? Because it's not a subject you've had some experience or some proximity to it.
Yeah,
years gone by.
But one thing that was quite a big surprise is that a lot of the people that I spoke to said that, you know, it isn't so much a case of the young people being recruited, but actually the young people are actually going to these older members and actually trying to get put onto this system themselves.
Why? Because of the money, the prestige,
yeah, they see
the safety, the brotherhood?
Yeah, they see the older members of their community or whether it be that they're living, and they see them looking, you know, quite lavish, having nice cars, having nice things, and they're like, look, I want to be like you.
This is an 8-year-old envying a car.
You know 400 brand names at 5, they say now.
It could be, yeah, and it's like, and that was quite interesting to me. Also, in terms of what some of these young people involved in this lifestyle actually want to do with their life instead of this. I was surprised by that as well.
Like what?
Like one of the guys said to me he would want to go to university, and he's the guy that's actually giving the drugs to a lot of the young people. He said, I want to go to university.
Well, what's it cost? 40, 50 grand to get a degree? You've got to fund it some way. Now, we've got a clip, if you'll forgive me, of Aaron talking to two real-life fakers, very heavily disguised, asking them how they ended up selling drugs for a living.
When I was 15, I didn't think about doing drugs. It kind of just happened. But this generation, they're like, yo, summer holiday, I'm hitting OT, I'm going country.
And you've heard them actually say that kind of stuff? Wow. Do you ever feel bad when you've got, like, a young person that's trying to come to approach you?
I know that sounds wrong, but nah. All I think about is making as much money per day.
It's all about the money.
Yeah.
It's all about the money. It's certainly not about any sense of pride or dignity, judging from those disguises. Christine, something from you, please.
It actually swings back to what you said about youngsters knowing however many brand names it was. They want to buy the brand names, and the brand names are more expensive, even though the non-branded goods are probably just as good. How did you rescue yourself from the route that you could have gone down? Was it literally was a Damascus moment when somebody was killed on the doorstep near you?
Yeah, there were a few factors that kind of like I noticed it was a cycle. I noticed that, you know, the criminal life was a cycle. A lot of people were either just dying.
How old were you, sorry to interrupt, when that happened?
I would say it was between the ages of about 16 to 18. I think the final straw came when I decided to go to university. And I knew that for me to go to university and for me to avoid this, I need to go as far away from where I'm from as possible. So I went to Birmingham University. I left London.
But were you groomed, as some of these 8-year-olds obviously were, when you were younger?
No.
I mean, forgive the question, I mean, were you currying drugs when you were 8?
No.
No, right.
No. But and I wasn't groomed either, but, you know, I think a lot of times it's not so much a grooming, it's just like a subconscious thing where you're around certain types of people.
Yeah, so it's environment, isn't it?
And before you realise, you get more and more.
Yeah, it is. It's environment. I get that.
Seems the natural thing to do because everyone's doing it.
We are going to talk, as I said, a little bit more later on in the programme about age of criminal responsibility. Something from you, though, Scott, maybe lighten the mood?
Well, last time you were on the show here, you tweeted about it. Are you having fun today, too?
Yeah.
Really?
It started off a bit harsh, but...
You're doing really well, I think.
Are you going to tweet
this is just the pinned tweet. I'm so made up that I'm your pinned tweet.
You are, man.
Because you used to watch this show as a kid.
I did. Every day as I was getting ready to go to school, I would be watching the right stuff. So it's quite surreal to be on.
The right stuff groomed you in a way.
Exactly.
I was going to say just the reverse. The right stuff saved you.
I prefer groomed.